Don has a long statement and question here. It says, I'm sorry for my lack of penetration of these mechanisms, and I apologize for some rather stupid questions, but I think we have here a point that is somewhat central to what we have or are presently attempting to understand. So even though my next questions may be almost unacceptably stupid, I will attempt to try to understand what this power that our visitor seeks is and how he uses it. For it seems to me that this is central to the mind and the evolution of it in which we are involved. Well, okay, so the question is, as this entity that is our visitor increases his power through these works, what is the power that he increases? Can you describe it? Well, here's a pretty good description, and I think we'll end this video with this. Ross says, the power of which you speak is a spiritual power. The powers of the mind as such do not encompass such works as these. You may, with some fruitfulness, consider the possibilities of moonlight. You are aware that we have described the matrix of the spirit as a night. The moonlight, then, offers either a true picture seen in shadow or chimera and falsity. The power of falsity is deep, as is the power to discern truth from shadow. The shadow of hidden things is an infinite depth in which is stored the power of the one infinite creator. I'll finish reading. The adept, then, is working with the power of hidden things illuminated by that which can be false or true. To embrace falsity, to know it, to seek it, and to use it gives a power that is most great. This is the nature of the power of your visitor and may shed some light upon the power of one who seeks in order to serve others as well. For the missteps in the night are, oh, so easy. Okay. Great way to finish this. I don't think if this is where I wanted to finish. Let me just check. No, it's not. But okay. Maybe we'll read the last question. But this one's going to take me a little while. Maybe we'll finish here. Let's describe the power of the negative entity and at the same time shed some light on the matrix of the spirits. How about that? Win-win. So what is the power that the negative entity is receiving? This is a spiritual power. I'm going to give my spin before I reread Ra's answer. It's a spiritual power to me because, especially in fifth density, mental work seems to be quite polished. So you're focusing a lot on spiritual power. Spiritual power is a contact, as far as I understand it, is a contact with intelligent infinity or with the creator, that which is, that gives life to everything. In the negative path, you are increasing the view or perspective of separation as a means to feel the creator. You see, there's a difference in feeling separate. Let's call third density here. There's a difference between feeling separate and sad, loneliness, all these things, right? There's a difference in that and feeling separate and rejoicing in that separation. That's the negative path. So you want to increase in the negative path that feeling of being separate and happy with it. The only way you can do this is by putting things into control, because separation produces this natural tendency to want to survive, to want to feel a a very important source that needs to prevail. You see? And so extrapolated this to other densities, it's all about creating this power over the creation. It's not others, it's just things that are there. It's not really you see? It's other things that need to put under control, and I need to have power over them. That's just a natural thing that happens in this mentality. So the negative polarity, when exacerbated and taken to the higher dimensions, if you will continue to seek along this line, that spiritual power over the creation, over others. And yes, it all has to do with this feeling of separation, which is fed, and you rejoice in that separation. And again, there's a huge difference between feeling separated because you know you're a positive being. In the core of your being, you know that you are all of this, that everything is perfect and one and so on, but you feel separate. You see, that's the greatest sorrow of third density, the anguish of most people who are spiritually inclined but are so sick of society and people and all of this. They feel separated from them, and that hurts them. So they don't know that their own definition of themselves is hurting them. And that is the path that many are taking. And I believe that this is what Ra calls, why they call themselves the brothers and sisters of sorrow, because they feel this call. And it's almost like they want to tell people the reason why you're suffering is because you're defining yourself as a separate being. And you unconsciously know that you're not. It's almost like your heart is screaming, no, we're not separate, but your intellect is saying, look at all the separation, look at the world, how it is, look at people, how they treat me, and so on. This is a very depressing pit in which a lot of people fall. And it creates this sorrowful drama, let me call it. Because in the end, we're all fine. It's all well. But anyhow, that's my view. Let's go back to Ra, when they say the powers of the mind as such do not encompass such works as these. I would think that's because there is fifth density at this point, like I said. You may, with some fruitfulness, consider the possibilities of moonlight. Now they're getting poetic here to describe an illustration of moonlight, shining light on the landscape. You are aware that we have described the matrix of the spirit as a night. Beautiful, yes. The moonlight then offers either a true picture seen in shadow or chimera and falsity. So the moon, they're not saying it here, but I think the moon is related to the experience of the spirit. I'll have to check it out. So the moonlight offers either a true picture seen in shadow or chimera and falsity. So in this little phrase, there is they're talking about the matrix of the spirit being just primeval darkness. There's just pure unknowing. You don't know anything. You can't see anything, right? Then there is the catalyst of the spirit, which is lightning. Or is that the potentiator? I forget already. But you see, there's always an element of light in the spirit, in the cycle of the spirit, the archetypical mind. And so there is this moonlight that offers either a true picture. See, this light, this experience of the spirit is light that can either show you true or truth or falsity. Chimera it's a beautiful word used here because it shows something that is made out of two. and they seem opposite to each other, right? They seem different. They're made out of two. Duality and falsity, I should say here, right? That's what chimera means in this context. Philosophically is, chimera philosophically is used to describe something that appears to be something, but it's not. That's why Ra uses as falsity as a synonym. And so, by the moonlight, you can either see what is true or given to falsity. You see? Then they say the power of falsity is deep, as is the power to discern truth from shadow. So discerning truth out of this possible duality, that is powerful. The shadow of hidden things is an infinite depth in which is stored the power of the one infinite creator. Wow. The shadow of hidden things is an infinite depth in which is stored the power of the one infinite creator. Naturally, when infinity is hidden and that which is infinite manifests itself as a finite being, it can explore itself infinitely. You see, but it cannot lift the shadow. See, if it lifts the shadow, then there is no game. There is no seeking. That's why the seeking is, in the sense of seeking the Creator, is an infinite path. I call most of my work the end of seeking, and I'll clarify that by saying that the end of seeking, in the context that I use it, is the end of seeking yourself externally. See, that's the seeking that we're all doing without knowing it, and we're suffering in this seeking. Seeking the Creator should not be something that you suffer. And if you suffer, that's a sign that you don't know what you're looking for yet. And so that's why I call it the end of seeking and the beginning of exploration. Because that which you call seeking, which was the path, becomes available to you for exploration. In any case, beautiful words here. Ra finishes. Did I read this already? Yes, I did. The adept, then, is working with the power of hidden things illuminated by that which can be false or true. So the adept who is trying to discern truth or false is working in darkness. Is working with the power of hidden things. To embrace falsity. So first, that's the adept. The adept is the one who is trying to polarize, right? And so it needs a compass. It needs something to guide it, to discern between falsity and true. Now, the negative adept is the one that embraces falsity, who knows it, who seeks it, and uses it to give power, to use it gives a power that is most great. Yes, to follow all of this negative path is of course a great one. This is the nature of the power of your visitor, and may shed some light upon the power of one who seeks in order to serve others as well. So there is a huge power both ways, but it depends on what your compass is and what do you discern as true or false. And the missteps in the night are so easy. So it's a fascinating path for all of us. This is why, to me, the most important thing to say, and it's not just to say it intellectually, but to know it, to realize, is how little you know. How little can you know of true things. There is only one truth, and that is that we're all on the same fabric of reality. The fabric of you is the same fabric as me. What is woven on top of this fabric, if I can continue using that word, is different. It's always different. But the very fabric in which we're all woven into, we're all the same. That is the only truth. That is the one truth that I can say non-conceptually, and I can show you non-conceptually that that is true. The power in there is infinite, and how you explore it, that's what Ra is talking about here. That's how you use this power of knowledge. It's up to you, but that is the only truth. And you see, this is not a positive path nor a negative path. It's just the only path that exists that brings you to unity. We're talking about unity here, so we're not talking about positive or negatives. There is no polarity there. However, how you wield this power, how you use it for yourself and for others, that's what determines what we call positive and negative entities within the creation. And so that's my way to synthesize all of this.